What's up, guys? Roscrubs here, coming at you here with this Ritual Beast deck profile. I tried to upload, but it came up the wrong way, so I'm going to do it again. Alright, so let's start off. 3 Elders. This is the best Ritual Beast tamer in the deck. You have to play 3 of this card. It just gives you an additional normal summon. Starts all your combos. Absolutely necessary. Next up, 3 Winda. The second best tamer in the deck. The best part about this, too, is that she counts as a spiritual beast as well. So you can actually use her, 2 of her, to make any fusion, which is really, really broken. And you can also tag out for 2 copies of her. She's the best one on the field because when she dies, she brings out any Ritual Beast from extra deck. And she is just so, so good. Like, any hand that I had, like, 5 Ritual Beasts, I would be able to still win sometimes just because I opened her. Like, if you're going to open a hand of monsters, as long as one of them is hurt, it's fine because you just make this guy and he negates everything. So, yeah. Nonetheless. Next up, 2 Wen, 2 Lara. These cards are both really, really good. I like this ratio of 2 and 2. However, I would change 1 Lara to be the Zephyra one, just because it's a different name for Tamer and you can only summon each one once.
The scale 1 Zephyr.
Yeah, exactly.
Not the scale 7. The scale 7 sucks.
When I was building this deck, I was also going based off the one guy that topped the regional 7th. The list works very well, though. I got first place twice. I got it on Sunday and then on Thursday tournament. First place in my locals, so it was really it performs really, really well. But his logic for 2 Laras was that he would rather have the Lara instead of the Zephyr card because you can make Link Kariba with this. But I'm gonna tell you right now, I play almost no extra deck other than the Ritual Beast cards. I didn't even make it because I didn't even want to waste my time. I did so well with the rest of the stuff. Obviously, you can use those slots for whatever you'd like. Lightning Story is a good card, other things like that. But I never felt the necessity for any other card. 3 Kanahawk. This card is absolutely insane. 3 Rampangu, same thing. And Apelio. These are the best spiritual beasts in the deck. You don't really want to play the others. Dolphin sucks. I think that's the only other one. I'm not exactly sure if there is another. But, yeah, these are just so, so good. This card's Foolish Barrow, this card's Gold Sark, and this card pumps your monsters up by a shit ton every turn. So, yeah. That's it for the Ritual Beast monsters. I believe it's 17. And then for the hand traps, I played 2 Ogre and 3 Ash Blossom. Other than the hand traps in this deck is actually really, really budget. And this is really a good deck, I think, for beginners because of the fact that it actually like teaches you more the more you play it, and you get more accustomed to the combos and stuff, and it's complex about how to search and what to do. These are the best hand traps, I think, to play in the deck simply because Ghost Ogre is searchable off E-Telly. Not that it would ever come up, but it's not bad. And Ash Blossom's just phenomenal. I know it's not that cheap right now. I think it's like 20 bucks off Shadows of Valhalla, but I'd probably pick them up because I don't think it's going to get another reprint as the Megatins just dropped and they didn't get reprinted in there.
If it does get a reprint, it'll be an Ulti and
yeah,
an OTS
it'll be an
pack.
Ulti and an OTS pack or something. So, like, you might as well just get them now. It sucks, but, like, it's better that you have them than not. So, yeah, those 5 hand traps are just absolutely busted. Next up, for spells, I played 2 Call of the Grave, 2 Gold Sark, a D Fisher, and an E-Telly. This card, I played the guy who topped 7th at the regional. He played 3 Scapegoats, but I don't like Scapegoat because it conflicts with Goes and Mash, and like I said, I don't really think that, like, making a Link play is what's going to get me further in this deck. I feel like this deck really wants to combo off just off of the its own extra deck monsters, and that it doesn't need that the other stuff. So I played Gold Sark to increase my chance of opening my combo, because if I open Wen and Gold Sark, that's similar to Elder Kanahawk. Not the exact same, because you have to special summon the Kanahawk, so you get one less thing, but it's still really, really good. And so that's why I'd highly recommend that you play Gold Sark in this deck, because it's just absolutely phenomenal. Call by the Grave, this deck normally dodges a lot of hand traps, so I was actually kind of iffy about this because of the fact that they all tag for cost. So I felt like it wasn't as necessary as it would have been in like another combo deck. And so I actually might cut it for like more traps in this deck because this deck actually is quite trap heavy and it actually wants to like, you know, see traps in opening hand with their monsters. But yeah, nonetheless, it didn't do terrible. It hit some things, but normally when it was hitting stuff like late game that just stopped my opponent from using their monster on board. And E-Telly and D Fisher, obviously standard. These cards are broken. I wish I could open this card every game. It's so good in this deck. It's just absolutely phenomenal. Next up for the traps, 3 Steeds. This card's probably the most broken card in the deck. Just non-targeting destruction. You can pop up like 4 in 1 turn. If you guys don't know the combos, I could show you them, but like they're pretty simple. You can watch some other videos for it, but I might do one just because. 3 Torrential. This card's absolutely phenomenal. The way this card works in this deck, and the reason it's so good, is because people wouldn't think you Torrential when you have a monster on board, but the fusion's tagged for cost. So on the summon of your opponent's monster, you chain the fusion to tag out, and then you flip Torrential to the summon, so that your the Chain Link will resolve backwards. You already tagged Torrential resolves, destroying everything, and then Kanahawk resolves summoning the 2 monsters or whatever fusion you decided to use. So yeah, it's just really, really, really good card in this deck. Absolutely, I love this card at 3. 2 goes in match. This card's phenomenal. The only card this affects is the Ulti-Guy Apelio, but normally the only way I ever summon this is through suiciding a window, and that means I have no other monsters on the board anyway, and I'm keeping all my Ritual Beast monsters in hand to negate stuff. But otherwise, this card's absolutely phenomenal, and you want to play this card too. 2 ambush. This card's like Call the Haunted on crack. It's just broken in this deck from banished or graveyard. 1 of each, either or. It's just 2 is the perfect number. 1 I feel like doesn't get you to a grind in late game, and 2 is just really, really good. Lastly, Macrocosmos and Solemn Warning. This card's busted, and this card's really, really good as well. Yeah, those are the 2 ones. You can play Judgment if you like. I side deck Judgment. I don't know. That's a lot of life points. I just like a card that negates any summon. For the Ritual Beast stuff, start off with the new Link monster. Ulti Kamiko's Falcon. This card's fantastic. This card just says banish and get an additional normal summon this turn. It also tags, and everything it points to gains 600. It's a really, really good card. You play 3 of it only because you're going to be banishing off a Rampengu every time. This is always the card you're going to want to play. You're never actually going to make 3 of it. I don't even know if you ever make 2 of it, but it's there in case. So yeah. Next up, 2 Ulti Apelio. This card's really, really good. When it attacks, your opponent can't, it's unaffected by card effects itself. So like, it's essentially like, you can't really like Mirror Force it or do anything to it when it attacks, which is good. So like, it's not the same as like, it just, your opponent can't activate things, but it's essentially the same. 1 Petalfin. This card never really comes up unless you have to like proc your own Torrential or do something weird, but it's not terrible. You can make it. Never going to. Our busted card that's limited, which is really sad because I wish I could Foolish Burial Kanahawk by banishing a Kanahawk, but I can't do that because Konami doesn't like this card. So good though, so good. Starts every single one of your combos. And then 2 Ulti-Guy Apelio. Some people only play 1 of this. I play 2 because I do suicide multiple windows. Absolutely phenomenal card. Like I said, you can play whatever else you want in this extra deck. This extra deck's actually, I only believe, 9 cards. You can play whatever you want. Lightning Shador is a really great card. There's plenty of stuff. It's just, I personally, I literally only played a 9-card extra deck, and I was able to do perfectly fine with it. For the side deck, not even a full side deck, but 3 DD Crow. This card's just great against Goki for hand traps. You need some. The same thing with Effect Veiler. I don't have Impermanence. You can play that as well. And then Evenly Matched. This card's so good. I'm so happy I got reprinted the Megatons for you guys. I hope, you guys can get some. I know it's still kind of pricey, but fantastic card. And then lastly, I played the Strike and the Judgment. You can play 2 more Strikes as well in this extra deck, I think is what I had, but they're in my binder, so I'm not going to worry about it. But yeah, that's it for the side deck, extra deck. Pretty self-explanatory. As far as combos, I mean, their combos, like, they range from anything from, like, Rampengu to Kanahawk. It's almost always going to be with this card. Your combos will always be going off. And then it's
Gold Sark Wen.
Or Gold Sark Wen, yeah. The whole point is, I guess the only thing I just want to teach you guys is the #1 ruling, the way you want to do your Kanahawk. So, like, say you did this and you tagged out. When you do your search, you want to return only 1 card every time, so that way you get full value out of the Kanahawk and you're not wasting resources putting cards in the grave because you want your cards banished. So you use Kanahawk's effect of initially targeting 2 cards, 1 of which you are going to special summon. So you target, let's say I want to return the Rampengu. In this case, I'm going to target Rampengu and Kanahawk, and I'm going to chain his effect targeting Elder and Kanahawk. That way you're special summoning the 2, returning the 1, and you'll still get your search. That's the main thing you have to learn. Just make sure you do that correctly, because the tag is always going to be cost, and that allows you just to keep cycling it. And you never want to leave this card on board too. Sometimes you'll end on your turn with this card on board because you can't special summon any more Ritual Beast. But the second your opponent's turn happens, tag this card back into the extra deck and grab your 2 monsters. You never want them to kaiju this card. It's really important for the deck. So yeah. But yeah, otherwise you can find out the combos. It's, like I said, they should be pretty self-explanatory. Plenty of people do them. Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and explain them all. Really just a great deck. You should learn. A lot of fun. All right, Rogue Strips out.